together, knees rolling out, one hand chest, one hand belly, just checking in with your breath for a moment. And also stay up so it's good. As we say in good English. Alright, so maybe come sit up on a block, on a cushion. So the idea is that your knees are resting on the floor, slightly lower than your hips, and your hands on your knees. And start to feel how your sit bones are on top of a block or on a cushion. And how the vertebrae of your spine are stacked on top of one another. All the way up to the base of your skull. Maybe you'd like to take a deep inhale, bringing your shoulders slightly up, rolling them back down, opening your heart a bit more. So today we're going to focus on heart openers. We do a lot of back bending today. We're going to open class with chanting 3 times Om. So if this is new to you, we're going to bring our hands in front of the heart in Namaste. You can exhale everything out. Inhaling to the belly, the heart space, all the way to the collarbones. one more minute. So, coming Sunday is going to be 5th of May, which is a celebration in the Netherlands of that we have not had war for a very, very long time. So we've been in peace, since 70 years now, I think, 80 years. I'm not very good at math, better at yoga, I think. So for a very, very long time, this country has been at peace. So this means all these different generations have not known war, which is special, right? I mean, it's very special on a world level that there's not been war in this country. And when you look at peace, you have these different levels, I think. So you have levels of world peace, of maybe peace in your environment. Maybe you fight a lot with your neighbors, or maybe you have this conflict going on in your work. And there's the concept of internal peace. So this month, the focus of Swaha is Buddhism. So I thought, let's look at what Buddha said about how to get to internal peace. So he said many things, but the quote I like the most is that he said is that all that we are is the result of our thoughts. So I think that means that, first of all, we need to try to control our minds. And maybe quiet the mind eventually. If you can't quiet your mind, then at least try to have happy thoughts, happy thoughts towards yourself, have compassion towards yourself, and compassion towards others. So today we'll focus on trying to quieting the mind. Maybe at the end of class you'll feel a little bit more quiet. And also open our hearts. Backbending, opening, literally, physically our hearts, and quieting the mind. Alright, so with that being said, we're going to also start moving. So maybe get rid of your blocks, so I'll put on a little bit of music. And you can come to hands and knees. Make sure your wrists are under the shoulders, knees are under the hips, all 10 fingers spread out wide, middle fingers pointing forwards, pressing the tops of the feet in the mat, curling the underarms slightly, turning the underarms slightly in and the upper arms out, and then on an inhale, looking up, arching back, exhaling, rounding the spine, looking at your belly button. Now keep going in your own pace, inhaling, looking up, arching back, exhaling, opening up. Back of the back. Going, inhaling, looking up, arching, exhaling, rounding the spine. And then coming back to center. Next inhale, you're going to lift your right leg up, bring your feet flex towards the ceiling. Exhaling, no knee to your nose. Again, inhaling, right leg up. Exhaling, nose to your knee. Maybe one more time, maybe this time also look up. Inhaling, exhaling. Maybe you can give your knee a little kiss. Nice that. Putting your knee back down on the floor and going to the other side. On an inhale, lifting your left leg. Knee bend, flex foot, exhale, nose to your knee. Again, second time, inhaling, exhaling, nose to your knee. Last time, inhaling, and putting your knee back down on the floor. Now maybe wiggle your hips a little bit, maybe make a little bit of funny movements. So the most important thing of this practice today is that you're not, you're not here to learn how to touch your toes, although you may eventually touch your toes, but eventually it's the most important thing is that you connect to your breath. So whenever you get tired, you can come back to a child's pose, bringing your big toes to touch. Let's all do that together. Sit bones back. Maybe bringing your arms forward, or you can relax them next to your body. And then coming back to hands and knees. Checking again if your hands are on your shoulders, your knees are under the wrist. Curling your toes in the mat, turning your underarms in, upper arms out, maybe rolling your shoulder blades a bit back, engaging your core. Inhaling, and on an exhale, coming back to to what is maybe your first down dog of the day. Really make space for your shoulders, for your neck, pressing all 10 fingers firmly in the mat. And maybe it's nice if it's your first down dog to lengthen out one leg after the other. You can bring your sitting bones towards the ceiling. And now maybe all come to a sort of stillness. Stop lengthening out one leg or the other. Maybe check if your feet are really hip width apart. For many of you, you need to move a little bit wider. Inhaling, exhaling. And then on your next inhale, start to walk your hands to your feet or your feet to your hands. Doesn't really matter. Hanging forward, knees deeply bent, shaking out, yes, shaking out, no. Maybe flutter the lips. And then rolling back, vertebra by vertebra, all the way up to stand. Alright, so we're going to come for a few dawn stretches. So maybe check if you don't have a neighbor like right next to you, so you can move all the way to the left. Front with your arms, alright. And then bringing your feet slightly wider than the hips. Hooking your thumbs, bending your knees deeply. Inhaling, coming all the way up. Exhaling, falling down. Inhaling to the right side. Make a big circle out of it. Exhaling, left side down. Now again, left side up. And then right side down. Bending your knees deeply, inhaling, scooping up, maybe looking up, exhaling, hands in front of the heart. Okay, again, inhaling, bend deep. All the way up, this time, left side. Inhaling, right side. And then exhaling, back down to the middle. Up on the right side. And down on the left side. And then scooping back up in the middle. Stretch out, fill up a little bit more. And then hands in front of the heart. Alright, shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. I'm going to stand at the top of the mat for a few rounds of Surya Namaskar A. Alright, so top of the mat, big toes touching. Engage your core a bit more, tucking your tailbone slightly down, inhaling your shoulders up, rolling them back down. Maybe I'm going to change the music. Okay. Then remember when you're moving, you need to keep your core really engaged, or your belly engaged. And inhaling in the chest, exhaling, making your belly a little bit flatter. So next inhale, hook thumbs, bend knees, all the way up. Exhale, folding down. Inhaling, lengthening out the back, maybe hands on floor or on shins. Exhaling, right foot back. Inhaling, open up your throat, looking forward. Exhaling, stepping back, downward facing. Check out your neck. Maybe make space again for your neck, really opening up the shoulders. Inhale, right foot up, center in between your hands. Exhaling, folding down. Inhaling, lengthen out. Sorry, I forgot the other foot. Other foot follows also. Inhaling, lengthening out your back. Exhaling, folding down. Inhale, scooping up, all the way. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. Next round, inhale, scoop up. Exhale, folding down. Exhale, stepping your left foot back, staying there, opening up the front, looking up. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Alright. So keep on breathing while we listen to this beautiful song, please. Song by Palestinian and Israeli mothers connected in this time of war. Next inhale, lift your left leg up, stepping between your hands, right foot follows. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, your thumbs bend your knees deeply. Get into it and exhale, hands in front of arms. Next round. Inhale. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, right foot back, left foot back, downward facing dog. So, checking in with all 10 fingers are really pressing into the mat. Middle fingers pointing forwards. Really lifting up the sitting bones. Maybe putting your feet a little bit wider. Yes. And on your next inhale, coming forward to a high plank. Lowering body all the way down to the floor. Point your feet. Open up your arms to cobra. Exhale, back to the mat. Inhale, sink down to your heels. Exhale, down dog. Next inhale, lift your right leg, step it between your hands. Left foot follows, inhaling, lengthening out. Exhale, folding down. Bending your knees deeply, inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands to the arms. Again, exhale, folding down. And inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, left foot back, right foot back, downward. Staying there. Maybe stepping your feet a little bit forward. Alright. Keep on making space for your neck. Keep on lengthening your back. Softening your shoulders. Next inhale, coming forward to a high plank, all the way down to the floor. Point your feet, lift the chest, inhaling, exhaling, back to the mat. Inhale, all fours, exhale, down dog. Next inhale, lifting your left leg, stepping it in between your hands, right foot follows. Inhale, lengthen out, exhale, fold down. Hook thumbs, bend knees, inhale, exhale, hands to heart. Alright, we're going to add a posture. Inhale, exhale, folding down. Inhale, lengthen out, hands on the floor or on shins. Exhale, step your left foot back. Right foot comes a little bit to the outside, so it's the really liquid part. Inhale, both your hands on top of your right knee. Exhale, lower your shoulders, engage your core, and lengthen out the back heel. Next inhale, both arms up, Anjaneyasana. And keep on breathing. Alright, now see where you have to walk. Yes. It's a difficult mat. Keep on lengthening out the back leg. Lengthening out through your arms, and soften your shoulders a bit more. And then bringing both your hands back down to the mat. Sitting there, inhaling, opening the front, exhaling, stepping back to downward facing dog. Coming forward into a high plank, all the way down to the floor, lifting chest, pointing feet, pressing feet down, cobra. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Inhale, pushing yourself back up. Exhale, down facing dog. So we're going to come for the other side. So your next inhale, lift your left leg, step it in between your hands, make sure your front knee is deeply bent. Right heel is still off the floor. Inhaling, both arms up. Exhaling, lowering your shoulders a bit more down, engaging your core. And staying there, keep on breathing. Check if your front knee is on top of your front ankle. Make sure your back heel is somewhat straight, so really in line with the rest of your feet. Try to lengthen out your arms, relax the shoulders. Maybe even smile a little bit at yourself. And then bringing both hands back down on the mat. Stepping back to a downward facing dog. Next inhale, coming all the way forward to a high plank. So this time we're going to go to a slightly different position. Bringing your knees on the floor. Bring your sit bones back, rolling your toes on the mat. We're going to come to a slightly awkward position. It's called Ashtanga Namaskar. Bringing your chest in between your hands. Breathing there for a moment. And on your next inhale, you're pushing through. Lengthening out your feet. Inhaling to a cobra. Exhaling, coming back down. Inhaling all fours. Exhale down. Right foot follows, inhaling, lengthening out, exhaling, falling down. Hook thumbs, bend knees, going all the way up. Exhaling, hands in front of the heart. Alright, maybe shake it out for a moment. We're going to take a very, very big step, all looking this way. So make sure that your feet are below your wrists. Turning your toes in, really pressing on the balls of your big toes, pressing them in the mat. Inhaling, opening the chest, putting your hands in your hips. Exhaling, engaging your core, coming forward, 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 forward. And then maybe a little bit further down. So if you can place your hands under your shoulders. You can also put them on a block if you like. That's a bit easier. You need me to grab the block like here. Alright. Okay, so if it goes relatively easy for you, you can also start bringing your fingers slightly further back, in line with your toes, so fingers in line with your toes. Then we're all going to go for the same variation that some of you are already doing, which is lovely. You can interlace your hands behind the back. If it's very tight for your shoulders, you can also grab a belt, hold them in between your hands, and then letting your hands fall over your head. If you need a belt and you don't have one, maybe wave a little. You can also stay on the same variation we just did. Opening up the shoulders. Maybe you can all try to bring a little bit more weight into the toes, because many of you are hanging a little bit back, which is normal in this pose. Maybe bring a little bit more weight in your toes. Alright, placing your hands back in your hips. Staying there for a moment, exhaling everything out. Inhaling, going halfway up. Exhaling, staying there. Next inhale, all the way up to stand. Alright, Now jump or step the feet together. There we are. Okay, we're going to come for the Madhurita Trikonasana, which is the twisted triangle. So for that you probably need a block. Bring the block on the outside of your right ankle. Stepping your left foot about a meter back. Placing your right hand on your right hip. Bringing your hip a little bit further back so your hips are about on the same level, the same distance from the front of your mat. Really pressing through the back foot. Inhaling your left arm up. Make sure you're not looking up. You want to really keep your neck long, engaging your core, coming forward, forward, forward. Maybe this is already fine for you. You feel like a nice stretch in your legs. You can also place your left hand on top of the block, opening up, engaging your core, and then bringing your right hand up to the ceiling. And try to really press your back foot to the mat. Try to bring your left shoulder a little bit further down. Or maybe you can even look up. But if you look up, maybe you tuck your chin slightly to the chest so you don't have any tension on your neck. And especially keep on breathing. Now you can look back down again. And in some gracious way, maybe grab your block and maybe do a little dance, stepping back to the front of the mat. Coming for the other side. Placing your block on the outside of your left foot. Stepping your right foot back about a meter. Bringing your left hand, left hip. Bringing your left hip back. Again, lengthening out both legs. Maybe engaging your front quadriceps and inhaling your right arm up, lengthening out your neck, and then first coming forward, forward, forward. Tucking your chin slightly in, engaging your core, and then bringing your right hand on top of the block, opening up to the left side, maybe even looking at your left hand, engaging your core, so it's both a twist and a balance. From the standing posture we just did before. In the warrior posture we don't have the heel off the floor, but we really turn it down to the floor. So on this side it would be about 2 o'clock, on the other side it's about 10. Alright, so I figured to give you a little rest. And now bringing the big toes together. Inhaling in the chest, really rolling your shoulders back down, again engaging the core. Standing there for a tiny moment. And on your next inhale, open up your arms. Exhaling, folding down. Inhaling, lengthening out. Exhaling, stepping back to down dog, or if you're familiar with it, jump back to chaturanga. Inhaling, rolling over the toes if you're in chaturanga. And otherwise, just stay. Stay there for 5 breaths. So on your next inhale, lifting up your right leg, stepping it in between your hands. Left heel comes to the floor. Make sure your front knee is deeply bent. Inhaling, both your arms up. Maybe arms, hands touching. Lengthen out a little bit more. Exhaling, lowering your shoulders. Again, engaging your core. You're not hanging too much in your lower back. Try to lengthen out your arms. Keep on breathing. Inhaling. And on exhale, opening up for warrior 2. I'm doing slow. Alright. Opening up warrior 2. So in warrior 2, make sure again, still your knees on top of your ankle, soft shoulders, strong arms. Maybe check your back arm if it's not falling down somewhere in the back. And then look over your front middle finger. If you're ready to attack through warrior. Keep on breathing. Circle your arms back down, stepping back to downward facing dog. Your next inhale, going to a high plank. Then choose your variation of a vinyasa. Either go all the way down to the floor and then to a cobra, or you get the first round, or you can lower down a low plank, upward facing dog, moving it to down dog. Maybe you be careful with your neck, don't throw your head all the way back, it's not very healthy. Or you can also always skip these vinyasas, right? And just take a little rest in between. We're going to come for the other side. Inhale, left leg up, set it in between your hands. Right heel comes to the floor. Inhaling, both your arms up. There, lengthening your arms out, lengthening your right leg out, pressing the back foot onto the mat, lengthening the back leg out, relaxing the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen out a little bit more, and on exhale, open up this side and knees to this side. And maybe this time check if you're not heading forward or backward. You do that by looking down in the middle, see if your breastbone, your belly button, and your pubic bone, if they're all in one line. So you're not hanging that way or that way. If you're right in the middle, centered. Again, looking over your front middle finger. Keep breathing, engaging your core with every inhale in the chest. Exhale, flatten out your belly a bit more. And then circle your hands back to the mat, stepping back to downward facing dog. Now you can either stay here or you can flow through vinyasa of your choice, either high plank, low plank, upward facing dog, down dog, or high plank, all the way down to the floor and then cobra. Your next inhale, lift your left leg up, swing it between your hands, right foot follows, inhaling, lengthening out, exhaling, folding down. Inhaling, circling your arms all the way up. Maybe you can look up, exhale, hands in front of the heart. Next round, in, flying back down. Exhaling, inhale, lengthening out, exhaling, stepping back to down dog or jump back to chaturanga. Whatever you do, we meet back to downward facing dog. Inhaling both your arms up. Again, really lengthen out through your hands. Relaxing your shoulders, opening up the heart space. And on exhale, open up. Warrior two. Again, engaging over your front middle finger. Then opening up the palms. We're going to go back for a reverse warrior. So maybe also looking up, whether you tuck your chin a little bit in. So when you look up, there's no stress on your neck. Making sure your knee is on top of your front ankle. So for most of you, this means you need to push your knee a little bit further out. The tendency to fall in this position. Keep on breathing. And on exhale, we're going to come back to warrior two. And on your next inhale, you're going to start straightening the front leg. Really engage this front leg. Make sure your hips are about equal. And then first, forward. If you can't come any more forward, you're going to come down. Opening up to the side. Maybe looking up. Imagine you're stuck between two poles. So make yourself as flat as possible. Maybe scooping your right hip a little bit further underneath your left hip. Opening up. Exhaling. And on your next inhale, coming back up. Exhaling, bending your front knee deeply. Inhale, circle your arms to the mat, and exhale, stepping back to downward facing dog. Maybe take vinyasa if you like, high plank, all the way down to the floor, or high plank, low plank, whatever is good for you at this moment. And then we're going to go for the other side. Inhaling, lifting your left leg up, stepping it in between your hands. Sure it reaches the hands. Again, lifting up your arms, really pressing the back foot down. Bending your front knee deeply. And then without changing your legs, opening up. Warrior two. Soft shoulders, strong arms. Gazing over your front middle finger. Engaging core. Make sure your knee is on top of your ankle. And then we're going to let our right arm drop on our right leg, coming for a reversed warrior. Oh, yes. Opening up the side. Do this nice side stretch. Maybe bringing your shoulder a little bit further down. Yeah. Yes. And then on inhale, coming back. Warrior two. Sitting there for one breath. Wait for your next inhale, lengthening your front leg. Coming forward, further. If you can't come anymore forward, you're going to place your hands down on your leg. Make sure wherever you put it, don't put it on your knee. It's okay to put it higher even. Don't whack your knee out of balance. That's not very nice for it. Again, maybe scooping your left hip underneath your right hip. Exhale, Inhale, lifting your right leg up. Place it in between your hands. This time your left heel stays back. We're going to come for Virabhadrasana number 3. So you're going to lift your left leg off the floor. And either maybe keep your hands in the prayer position. Maybe that's already a bit too challenging for you. You can also keep your hands on the floor. Try to lengthen your right leg, your left leg. Make sure your toes are pointing down. Try to come up, lifting the chest or even lengthening your arms out to the front, if that's doable for you right now. Check if your hip is not too high up. So try to see if the hip of the leg that's up is not higher than your other hip. Staying there for a few breaths. If you fall out, it's all fine. Keeping your back feet flexed. Elbow your hips. Flex your back foot. And then bringing your hands back down to the mat, everyone. And stepping back to downward facing dog. Maybe go for vinyasa if you feel like it. Or just stay there. First, lifting up your left leg, stepping it in between your hands, moving your weight to the front leg, really lifting up the back leg, and then coming for a Virabhadrasana number 3. So it's a bit like an airplane, right? You can either keep your hands there, or you can lengthen them out to the front. It often becomes easier if you bring your upper body a little bit more down. Down, down, down. Again, making sure that your hip is not higher, the upper hip is not higher than your other hip. Flexing. And bring both your hands down to the floor, stepping back to the downward facing dog. Alright. Maybe if you like, take one final vinyasa. Just stay in downward facing dog. So wherever you are, bring your knees now as wide as the mat. We're going to go for a little child's pose. Alright, so the dynamic part of this class is over. Lovely, isn't it? You can rest for a bit. Maybe connect back to your breath. Maybe focus on the inhales and the exhales and see if it changed from the start of class. I'm sure it did a little bit. Yourself back to a down facing dog. Walking your hands to your feet to your hands, about equal. And then bringing your toes a little bit out, taking a very, very deep seat in a squat. Really letting your pelvis drop for a moment. Hands in front of the heart to Namaskar. If it's very difficult, you can always place blocks underneath your heels. Or roll up your mat for a little bit, but we only stay in for a very, very short time, so maybe it's just nice to try it. And then inhaling your arms up, and then taking a sit, lengthening your legs to the front. We're going to go straight for Paschimottanasana. Alright, inhaling, lengthening out, shoulders down, exhaling, coming forward. Maybe your hands are on top of your shins. Maybe on your upper legs, it's all fine, right? It's not about touching your toes. Maybe it's nice to use a belt around your feet. Wherever you are, relax your hand down, try to flex your feet. hands back up. And we keep on walking your hands a little bit to the back of our hips, making sure that all the fingers are pointing towards the hips, placing our feet where the knees just were, inhaling into the chest, exhaling, lifting your hips. Maybe keep on looking at your belly without judgment, it's always difficult. Or you can also bring your head all the way back. Taking a nice deep inhale and exhale. Staying there, opening the heart, opening the shoulders. See if you can quiet the mind, open the heart. Just a bit more. Taking one last inhale here. And then sitting back down. We're going to come straight for Navasana. So either keeping your feet parallel to the mat, or if you want more of a challenge, you can lengthen out your legs. Also, lengthen your arms, lengthen your legs. Maybe you lift your chest just a bit more. Maybe even lift the corners of your mouth. That would be lovely. Alright. Now try to stay compassionate. Try to stay peaceful. Try to find this inner peace, even if it's in positions that you don't maybe really like. Inhaling a little bit more in the chest, and then bringing your legs back down. Alright. That's all over. That's all in the past. So we're going to come back to hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Hands under the shoulders? Yes, hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Curling the toes in the mat. Again, making sure your underarms are in, shoulders are out and down. And then pressing yourself back to a down dog. Lifting right leg high, stepping it in between hands. Keeping left hand on floor, right hand comes to ceiling for a very short twist. Taking a deep inhale here in the chest and exhale, making your belly a little bit flatter. And then bringing your right hand down, stepping back to a down. Other side, left leg up, step it in between hands. Right hand stays on the floor, inhaling, left arm up. Keep on breathing. Maybe see if you can lengthen a bit more through your arms and that axis, and maybe through the crown of your head and your foot, your back foot, in the other axis, right? So there's this cross shape that you're in. And then placing your hand back down, stepping back to a down dog. And then coming forward to a high plank. And then lower your bodies all the way down to the floor. Bringing your right ear on the mat. Lengthening your arms. Lengthening your feet. Lengthening everything. Alright. So, on your next inhale, bringing your forehead into the mat. Interlacing your hands behind the back, really pressing the tops of the feet in the mat. Exhaling, and on the inhale, lifting the chest. Making sure that you're not bringing your head in your neck, but looking forward of the mat, maybe 20 centimeters ahead. Keep on breathing. Really pressing the feet in the mat. Yes. Alright. Inhaling, coming to your maximum. Exhaling, all the way down. You can wiggle your hips a little bit. Releasing the arms. Bringing the other side of your face on the mat. Alright. So we're going to come for a second round of that. This time also lifting the feet. And we're not interlacing the hands, but we're keeping them glued to our thighs. So first maybe bring the feet together, big toes touching. Then lengthening out your arms next to your body, maybe holding your thighs. Exhaling everything out. And on an inhale, lifting your chest, lifting your legs. Keep on looking a little bit down, lengthening your neck. If you think you can't lift any further, maybe lift one leg above the other and then lift the other one above the other, and then you keep on going until you're really sure you can't go any higher. Try to relax the butt. Last challenge. And then come all the way down. Again, maybe shake your hips. Alright. Opening up the heart. Quieting the mind. We're going to go for bow pose. So this time bending your knees, grabbing hold of your ankles, flexing the feet. Make sure that the feet are pointing to the back of the room. Exhaling everything out, lengthening the neck, and on an inhale, lifting everything off the mat. See if you can really open up the heart, open the shoulders without putting stress on the neck. Flex the feet. Don't bring the knees too wide though. Keep on breathing. Inhale to the maximum. And on an exhale, letting everything drop down again. Wiggle your hips. Which is the preparation for bridge pose. It's also actually a pose in itself. So, first make sure that your feet are on the mat. Make sure that you could, with your middle fingers, just touch your heels. Inhaling in the chest, and on an exhale this time, lift your hips, interlacing your hands behind the back, and making sure that you really press your big toes in the mat. Make sure that your knees don't fall out. Keep your knees a little bit in. So for everyone who has their knees falling out, it's not a good idea. Try to keep your knees a bit more together. And maybe it's easier when you also bring the big toes slightly turned in and your heels a little bit out. Yeah, perfect, everyone. Beautiful. Inhaling your hips to the maximum, and then lowering yourself back down to the floor. So we're going to go for a second time. If you're familiar with bridge, so like the full wheel pose, if you've done that before, you're happy. I'm happy that you do that as well now. If you've never done it before, maybe this is not your class. It's better to do it in another class when there's more time. So inhaling in the chest. On an exhale, lifting your hips back up again. Maybe interlacing the hands first. If you're going to go for wheel, make sure that you really keep your knees together. If you need my help, I'm also here. Alright, kom maar. Dan gaan we het gewoon niet doen. Ja? Ik denk dat je lekker beneden voor mij gaan liggen. Wherever you are, come lie down, all the way down. Maybe bring the knees into the chest. Staying there for a moment. Yeah. Fingers. Step out to that line. Doe maar iets met je benen te zetten. Windshield wipers. That's what we're going to do with our knees. We're going to keep our hips lying on the floor and then bring our knees on an inhale to the left, exhaling in the middle, inhaling to the right, exhaling in the middle. So keep going on your own breath. Don't speed up, maybe slow down even a bit. Maybe you say hello to your neighbor. That's all fine too. Keep on lying down, bringing your heels together and then your knees pull out. But if you're with me in shoulder stand, you're going to sit at the bottom or front of your mat. Roll your feet behind your head, interlacing your hands, really lengthening out the legs. Maybe pressing a bit more in your wrist, so you're really pressing yourself a bit further up. From this moment onwards, it's important to no longer move your neck, so you're not hurting your neck. Then bring your hands in your upper back, fingers all pointing towards the ceiling, and then lifting one leg, lifting the other leg, flexing the feet, and then staying there for about 1 full minute while we listen to Madonna, who also encourages to open up our hearts. Scoop yourself back on the mat. You're not on your neighbor's mat, even though that is very, very cozy. We're going to come for fish pose. For those of us who at least joined in shoulder stand, you can open the throat. So make sure to flex your feet. Bring your underarms on the mat, inhale lifting the chest, and then bringing the top of the head on the floor. Keep on breathing through your nose. So for some of you, you may have learned to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. If that feels good for you, go for it. I love it, but it's not officially part of the pose. Alright. Probeer eerst je borstkas te krijgen. Ja. En dan je armen nog iets lager. Ja. Nee, niet bij de onder. Je moet wel soort van steun op je onderarm. Oh, ja, ik laat je los, oké? Okay, now, wherever you are, prepare for Shavasana. Final posture. Maybe you don't think now you need a blanket, but you might cool down, so I encourage you to grab a blanket. If you don't want to get up anymore, but you would like a blanket, you can also wave at me, and I'm happy to grab one for you. All right. Okay, so everything that was needed physically in this class is done. Maybe let your feet fall out. Maybe relax them down. Maybe bring your shoulder blades a little bit more under you, one after the other. And then letting your hands fall out, palms to the ceiling. And then let go of any control of breath. Just breathe naturally. Really try to quiet the mind and open the heart.
The real work you have to do is in the privacy of your own heart. All of the external forms are lovely, but the real work is your inner connection. If you're quiet when you meditate, if you truly open your heart, just quiet your mind. Open your heart. Quiet the mind, open the heart. When you quiet the mind, meditate. When you open the heart, you start to love that which you can love and just keep expanding. You love a tree, you love a river, you love a leaf, you love a flower, you love a cat, you love you. But go deeper and deeper into that love. Do you love that which is the source of the life behind all? I know. You don't worship the gate, you go into the inner temple. Everything in you that you don't need, you can let go of.
Deepen your breath. Maybe wiggle your toes, fingers. Bring your left leg into your chest and rolling onto your right side. So, we started class with thinking about peace, right? About peace on these different levels, about inner peace and outer peace, and peace in the world, etc. Yoga says everything is eventually connected. So if we get sad by looking at the news, that makes sense, right? I mean, it makes sense that we get influenced by what we see and what we notice through this connected consciousness also that's in this world. Maybe, and I really like this idea of that this connection also goes maybe the other way around. That if we also increase our internal peace, that could also expand to other levels. Maybe it has this rippling effect of rock falling in the water. Just your inner peace might spread some more peace in this world. take with you when you go out of this class today. So coming back to a seated position, again maybe on a block or on a pillow. Before we close class with 3 times Om, I'd like to sit. We're running a tiny little bit over time, but still quite okay. So I'd like us to all sit for just 1 minute. Just in total quietness, wearing hands on our knees. Just sitting, or maybe the joy of sitting. Enjoying your quiet mind, your open heart. Back in front of your heart, exhaling everything out. Thank you for coming out to practice. It was lovely to have you all here. And I hope you have a very peaceful day. The rest of the day. If you have any questions, I'm right here, so you can ask. Otherwise,